Hi guys, so we're back here with another video, another GameMaker tutorial. Today we already have this ball bouncing around, which is good, and it's detecting collisions with the player. So now I think it's time for the player to be able to defend himself, so to be able to shoot hooks, and the balls should detect collisions with those hooks and divide themselves. So let's get on with it. So first things first, what we need is to get the sprites for the hooks. So we create a sprite, SPR hook, okay. Edit image, import image, image, import strip image, and I believe we have hooks here. There are hooks here, at least, so we could use these. Let's see if we got others that we could use. So I'm not sure if we can. Yeah. Well, no, it just doesn't look like that's the case. So we only have those. All right, then that makes it easy. We're gonna be using these. So you can see. No, actually, it's 16. Yeah, and it's 20. Yeah. So. We could use these, and then we can use this part here to do the hook, like the hook string, whatever, I don't know how to call this. We could also use the different parts to stick them together and see if, that way they if they fit together well. I'm not sure. Well, we'll start with the hook. The hook is this part here. We got the, yeah. Let's remove the green. Cool. Even remove. For instance, let's leave it like this. Yeah. So yep, this is more or less a hook. I think we can get rid of all these pixels. Oops. Here too, but anyway. Yeah, it's all right. So this is the hook, and let's create another sprite. SPR hook cable. Okay, so for the hook, we are going to place the origin in the bottom center. Okay, so yeah, it's drawn from here on, and the string, let's do the string. Import the strip image, we come here, again, we're gonna get this, it's gonna be bigger than that, it's 32, no, 28, yeah, 28. I'm wondering, if we could do it better than this, but anyway, for the time being, I think we're gonna go with this. Again, we're gonna be removing the green. Oh, that's not good enough. Yeah, that's better. So this is gonna be the hook, the hook's cable. Good. And where do we want the hook's cable to be, the center to be? Well, in the top center. So if you draw basically one, you draw the other right underneath. Good. So we have the hook and the hook cable. Great. So let's create the hook object. Okay. So if you remember Pang, you will you may remember that hooks were hooks go up. So you see, they go up, they go up, they go up. So they go up at a fixed speed, and when they touch something, either the cable or the head, they disappear. So yeah, that's what we want to do. So obviously, the first thing we have to do is to make them go up at a fixed speed. So we're gonna define move speed. No, I don't think we're gonna define the variable here. No, we're gonna add an event at the create event, because we're gonna be needing this later. So first we define, I'm gonna try to make this bigger so it's clearer. So the first thing we do is first define the velocity for the hook. So we're actually gonna be using here b speed. So h speed is gonna be 0, b speed is gonna be -4, for instance. Okay. So this means it goes 4 pixels a tick, 120 pixels a second, up, because remember that the 0 is the top left corner of the screen. Good. I have changed the preferences in the editor, and I have changed the size of the font to 12, so I think it's gonna be easier to read now, hopefully. And I don't have to do zoom. I don't have to be zooming in and out, which is kind of annoying, and I'm certainly gonna forget about it. If it's not clear enough, then let me know, and I'll increase it even higher to 14 or 16. Anyway, we have these. That seems simple enough. That's all right. Let's add a another event at this step where we check if we have to disappear. So the first thing we're gonna check is if we are out of the room boundaries. They want to disappear. If the position, if y minus sprite height is lower than 16, then definitely get rid of us. So instance, let's try. I'm not sure I like it like this, but anyway, the problem with this is that this is gonna happen once we already have drawn the hook over the border, which is something we don't want to do. We could use vSpeed. So if we add vSpeed here, we know where the next tick this is gonna be. So if we're gonna be next tick over the border of the room, and destroy ourselves. That seems easy enough, and that seems sensible enough. Good. And let's create these objects when the player shoots. So so right now let's keep it simple and let's make the player shoot whenever they want. So if keyboard check say pressed bcad left control create a new hook. So we're gonna create a hook from the floor, from the point where we are actually at. So we create a hook at the XY position of the player. That's since the player's position is on the feet, the origin is on the feet, then it's gonna be just creating the hook there. And that's that the hook is actually on the bottom to the hook origin is also on the bottom is helping here too, because that means we're gonna the position is gonna be the same. It's like we just place the hook where the feet are, and it's gonna be drawn from there on. We don't have to do calculations to make it big, make it a little bit bigger or smaller or whatever. So let's create def. It's going to be at x and y. It's going to be at our current def plus 1, and it's going to be obj hook. And that's it. That's it for the time being. So that this way we have the player, and it can create hooks. Cool. They are being created, and they are not. They are colliding with the top, and it seems to be working. Good. Okay. Problem is, it's not drawing the cable. How are we gonna draw the cable? Well, there are different options. We could create a cable object and do stuff with that, but I don't like that. I mean, it could have its own benefits, like having a collision box and stuff like that, which, by the way, the collision box here is, yeah, that's all right. But no, what I'm going to do is, instead of that, we're going to draw the cable in a custom manner. That means that we're going to be creating a new event of type draw. First thing we think is we draw ourselves. Draw ourselves. And then let's draw as much of the cable as necessary. Okay, to draw the cable, we have to draw a cable from the point where it started till the point where we are at. So, in order to draw from the point where it started, we need to keep that position. So in the create, we're gonna keep the initial position in y. And in y is gonna be y. Yep. So in order to avoid repeating some calcs every tick, like for instance, what's the size of the hook cable? Let's do them here. It's gonna be something like sprite get height sphere hook cable. Cool. So this is, we're gonna be using this for sure. We're gonna be using probably the width too. Cool. Anyway, so going back to the drawing. So we're gonna be drawing full cables from where we are until we have left less pixels than the size of the cable. So first let's do that part. 4 pixels left to cover. This is gonna be the current y minus, sorry, the initial y minus the current y. These are the pixels to cover, because remember the initial y is always going to be bigger because it's lower. So while pixels left to cover is bigger than hook cable height, let's draw a bar is 1. So let's draw the cable. Draw sprite sphere hook cable 0, because there's only one stop image. Add our x and add car y. Then increase the current y position. As we said before, it's best if we start rendering it right in the pixel below the hook. So that's why I have added the +1 here. Well, later we have to draw We'll do this later. But first, let's check that this is working, and later we add the where we draw only a part of the cable that we want. Oops. Seems like something went wrong. Yeah, something went wrong. We have to say pixels left to cover. We have to do this, otherwise we are never going to get out of this while. As you can see, it's sort of working now, but So you can see they kind of start at different places. They are not starting from the bottom, which is annoying because we want them to start exactly from the bottom. So that's because we haven't implemented yet the part that draws this part here. So let's do that. So in order to draw here, what we want is to draw only a part of this sprite, and for that we have a function that does that. I think it's draw sprite x, something like that. But first let's calculate how much of the sprite to draw. So we want to draw the sprite, but only the pixels left to cover, right? So yeah, there's not much to calculate. So we get draw sprite part. Yeah, draw sprite part. I think we could use the X, but let's do this. So we're going to be drawing SPR hook cable, and this is the first subimage. The left is going to be 0, top is going to be 0, width is going to be hook cable width, height is going to be pixels left to cover, and it's going to be an X and current Y. I believe this is not going to work well because it's not going to be placed at the right position, because I think we're considering here the 0, 0 as the origin rather than the actual origin of the image. Let's see if that's right. Yeah. As you can see, they don't start at the right position. They are moved from a bit. Actually, they are moved exactly 8 pixels, which is half the size. Since the origin is 8 pixels or whatever, what we want is to move the, but now we're considering the origin the 0, 0, then we have to move the origin. So X minus the origin, which is something that we could actually calculate in the I think it's X offset. Damn it. So we're gonna X offset. So we're basically doing draw sprite from the 0, 0, the whole width, the pixels to cover, and the position X is going to be the X minus the origin X and the current Y. And that's because the origin Y is 0, but I mean, we could actually do that if we needed to. So you can see now, they're all moving smoothly up. Cool. So now we have hooks that sort of rendered properly. They still not, they're not colliding with the ball, which is, not nice. But yeah, that's cool. At least they're drawing properly. One of the things that we want to avoid also is the player to draw too many, to shoot too many hooks. So instead of doing that, instead of letting it shoot a hook every time they want, we're only gonna let them shoot if there is no other hook active, because that's how it actually works on Bang. You can only shoot. Sorry. Microphone just dropped. So yeah, I was saying that that's how it works in Bang. You can only shoot a hook if the previous one has been destroyed. So unless you have the extra hooks, the 2 hook thing or whatever. There is a double hook power up, and that power up basically allows you to shoot one hook, to have two hooks working at the same time on the screen. So instance count, nope, instance number obj hook is less than 1. We could have this as a max hooks active, and if we change this to a variable, set it to max hooks active, then we can have 2 or 3 or 4 instead of 1. But right now I'm gonna be less than 1. That's so that you see, you can change that later if you want to activate the double hook or whatever. So with these, the player should only be allowed to have one hook at a time. So yeah, now I can only add another one when the previous one has been removed. Good. Now let's make the hook collide with the ball. So the first thing is let's add a collision event with the ball. When we collide with the ball, we first destroy ourselves, and destroy the ball too. That's it. Yeah. So the thing is, we want the ball to be divided when it's destroyed, unless it's a very small ball, right? So yeah, let's do that. So the first thing we need is a smaller ball, right? So we are gonna duplicate. No, actually, we're gonna create an object, obj ball big. We're gonna move this object. Yes, we're gonna use the very big sprite. We're gonna be we're gonna be parent is gonna be very big sprite. Yeah, it's gonna be the same sprite. But the variable definitions that's here, we're gonna change the scale. So we're gonna add this, and let's change the scale to 0. I don't know, 75, for instance. We're gonna change the x velocity to be 5, and the gravity is gonna be the same. The target height, also the target height is gonna be higher. Let's set this to 175. Yeah. So now we can create an event here, and in the destroy, when destroying, we want to create two balls, two smaller balls. And we could actually even make this generic, because if we added a an object that would be ball to divide in, and it's going to be an object. In this case here, as long as that's not no one, we divide. So if ball to divide in is no one. Then divide ourselves, create two balls. When are we going to be creating them? So we're going to get sprite width. It's going to be quarter sprite width. It's going to be 0.25 times sprite width, and we're going to create them in bar. Of course, is x minus quarter sprite width, and the right position is going to be the same but with plus. So we put them one to the left and one to the right. And we create the balls. So left ball is gonna be instance create def left pause y def at same def as we have and the ball to divide in, and right ball is going to be the same but with the right position. And the only thing left to do is to tell the left ball xbel is minus left ball xbel, because we want the left ball to move to the left. We could also an explosion here, but we don't have the explosion, at least not that I know of. I don't think we have explosion, do we? No, I don't think so. There is no explosion here. No explosion here, no explosion, no explosion. Don't think we have an explosion. I don't think this is an explosion. That is for the boss. I don't know. That's right. We'll leave without explosion for now. Okay. So, yep. Let's try. That's the very big. Let's see what happens. So in the big, we want to say that the next one is not gonna be that. For the time being, we set it to none, to no one, sorry, and then we'll do, when we do smaller balls, we will go change this. Let's see what happens. Yeah, seems to be working, isn't it? Good. And those balls are going not so high. I want to go. Very good. So yeah, let's create a medium ball. Let's duplicate this one. Medium. For the medium ball, we're gonna use this sprite. And again, this is gonna be the very big. That's all right. But yeah, the scale is gonna be 1. The x velocity is gonna be just 4.5. It's 4.5, and the target height is gonna be 250, and the ball division is gonna be no one. Yeah. Then we can set the big. ball division now is medium. And again, we are gonna duplicate this one, and we're gonna have it small. We're gonna override some things. The ball scale is gonna be 0.7. I don't know. This bit is gonna be 4. The target height is gonna be 300, for instance. 120, I don't know. Yeah, 120 for instance. And this is going to be no 1 definitely, because this is a very small, the smallest one. And here we want to set this to small. So now we have the 4 of them. And if I make a mistake, damn it, I think I'm going to make the player vulnerable. Because, well, as you can see, yeah, so we want this to be smaller and this to be a little bigger. Okay, so for instance, the medium may want to be 1.2, for instance, and the small one, we're gonna want it 0.5. Okay. Yeah, let's make the player invincible. Saying annoyed. Yeah. For instance, this one is okay, but it's not bouncing high enough. Yeah, it should go slower, I think. Let's make it bounce a little bit higher, and let's make it yeah, a little bit slower. So ball medium, let's put it to 4, and let's do a little bit 16, small. Let's make it it's gonna be 3. Yeah, I don't know. I think that should be okay. Yeah, this looks nice. Yeah, I think this looks nice. Good. So good, we have the balls being divided, that's great. And we have all the balls, but right now the problem is that the hook is only working when it hits with the head. And we want it to work with the cable too. So let's do that. So we have checked that. We have to check if we hit a ball. Does this work here? I think it does. Yeah, it does. That's exactly right. If you destroy the object you don't want to go on. So if we hit the ball. So how are we gonna check if we hit a ball? Well, thing is, we are gonna be doing a collision detection, and well, we could use a box for the cable, but we can also, which is alright, maybe we can do that, and we could also use a line too. I think we're gonna use a box, but let's see. So it's I don't remember the name of the function exactly. Oh no, not this one. we want to check if two objects overlap. No, not overlap. They collision. Let's see this. No collisions. Simple collision. Place. That's right. This allows us to check if something is already being used, like using the sprite collision information, and this is using collision circle, line, point, rectangle. So with these, we check collisions against a predefined shape. We could use a line here because, you know, the hook is sort of a line, right? Like the cable is a line. But we're going to use a rectangle so that we take into consideration the width of the hook. So you pass the XY coordinates of the top left corner and the bottom right corner, the object to check collisions for, which in our case is going to be the ball very big, because this is the parent of all the balls. Whether we want precise collisions, we definitely want precise collisions, and definitely we want to avoid colliding to ourselves, but although that's not going to be relevant because, you know, a hook is not a ball. So let's use this. Sorry about the interruption. So back to the to programming. So here, let's do collision detection here. Collision rectangle. Rectangle. So what is going to be the top left corner? Well, the top left corner is going to be x minus the collision width, which in our case we could define it. I mean, this is going to be mask like 2, so it's 6 and that's 6 and that's 3. So we could have like 4 pixels to the left, or we could actually have we could have it like 4 pixels to the left, or even 6 pixels to the left, like we're doing. Let's put 4 pixels. Let's put 6 pixels to the left. The Y position is going to be the Y position of the hook, because that's where it starts. Then the X2 is going to be X plus 3, because that's what we have in the collision mask, and the Y3 is going to be any Y, because this is the N. The object is going to be OBG, ball very big, precise, we want it to be true, and only true. So this is collision rectangle. The thing is, collision rectangle returns an instance ID, so the first ID that it collides with. So yeah. So it determines whether we collide with a ball or not. And then we can do things like, if ball collided is not no one, then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be destroying both. Oh gosh. I'm back again from another interruption. Gosh. So, destroy the ball. And destroy ourselves. we return from here because we don't want to go. There is nothing right now, but we will add more stuff. Like we want to stop at some bricks. So if we add bricks, then we will have to stop there too. So yeah. Let's see if it works. It's okay. Yeah, it seems to be working all right. Yeah. Cool. So I think that's what we wanted to do. Is we could add a well, I think there are things that we can add, like a game manager or level manager that checks if there is no more balls on the screen, and if that's the case, it says you win or level finish and goes to the next level, stuff like that. We but I don't think we'll be doing that now. We also need to add the bricks, which is what we're gonna be doing in our next video. We will add bricks that you can that the balls can bounce off, and that can boom. And that's probably gonna show some errors that we currently have in the code, because we haven't considered some particular cases, but that's all right. We will fix them when we found them, and we will want the player also to be able to walk on those bricks. And I don't know, maybe we'll add more twinkle, some bells around there. We'll see. I think that's the main things that are left, but the bricks and fixing all the bugs that we haven't considered yet. And that should be it for our Pang project. Anyway, I hope to see you in our next video, and so see you soon. Bye.